So I'm just getting through doing a gasket. My gasket's on my valve cover on my 07 Chevy Colorado, and I just put it on, but I was wanting to make this little video for everybody who has to do this. When you get started, it's gonna look like this. You're gonna have to take off all this. Okay, I'm not kidding. You gotta, when you get started, you're gonna have to take off the alternator. It's right here, which is over there. You're gonna have to take off all the intake, the air intake that's right here. It's right there. You gotta take all that off. You gotta come under here. You gotta take your wheel well off. And you're gonna have your intake manifold that's gonna be up in here. Okay. It's really hard to find them bolts, and you. Let me just say this. People say that you could loosen it up and get it off there and get that valve cover off. Don't do that. Take it completely off. Trust me. Take it completely off, okay? And when you take it off, you know, the top of it, you know, it'll look like this, you know. And on the back side, the bolts that you're going to be taking off on the bottom are going to be down here. And this is going to be your bolts. It's going to look 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that's going to be your exact, that's going to be exactly what your bolts that you're going to be removing off there, okay? No ifs, ands, or buts. You can have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, basically. Not basically, that's what it is, exactly what it is. So when you get underneath here, you start taking them off, you're going to be looking under here, and it's going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. You can see them right here. Here they are right here. You see them right there. Check it out. Far left, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Exactly. They go exactly in a row like that too, in line. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay? So everybody who has to do this job, you got an 07 Colorado. I don't know, up to 2007. That's what mine is. That's what you gotta do. 1, 2, here's the top side of it. But the best way to get to it is gonna be from underneath. There's that 1, and there's the 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and when you're going to do all this, you're gonna have these lines right here. These are gonna be attached to your intake manifold as well. You're gonna have to take off the bolt here. You have here, one here, and you have another one down there at the bottom. It's going to be attached to your intake manifold. You have to take those off to get this loose, to get that out of the way. And then you're going to have to take this black metal plate. I already took it off. Here it is, right here. This black metal plate. It's going to be sitting underneath there. Like this. It's going to be sitting underneath there, just like this. Way up underneath there. And you have to remove this thing right here so you could get the bottom bolts on the intake manifold, because when you're doing the intake manifold, you gotta get way up underneath there to get the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There's 2 of them in the middle too. On the bottom, you have to get way up underneath there, and the only way to get it is to take this off of the intake manifold, take that plate off, and then you'll have access to it. But you gotta have to take all this apart, take all this off in order to get to it. You take all the disconnect, everything. To make a little extra room on your electrical wires, you go down here, down there, right down there. I know, I hate when people do this, but you go right down there, you follow this, and you go straight down there, and you can disconnect it from down there. You'll have little round things like this, right here. Around things like that. You'll have one like that down there. You just take it off there, and it'll give you a little bit more extra room for when you take this off. You see on YouTube all the time, they'll say, yeah, you just loosen this up right here. You can get it. Yeah, well, guess what? You can, if you want to take the chances of messing up your intake manifold, create vacuum seal leaks, and do all kinds of crazy crap. And they say you got to loosen it up completely enough to where you could access it. Well, guess what? When you loosen it up completely, you might as well just take it off, because you have it loosened up completely. You're one step away from taking it completely off. So you might as well just take it completely off and have access. Because what I did, there's a fuel line right here. When the intake manifold was right here, I reached over it, and you see how they have a bolt right here next to your valve cover? I took this one off at first, and I didn't know I missed that one. I was taking that one off because you're gonna have the valve cover all right, the air intake manifold all right here, and it's gonna be up in the way. So I'm reaching, you know, from over there on that side, I'm reaching across, and with one of these itty bitty tools like this, I had to get something like this to get it. It's a little itty bitty 1/4 inch with a 10 millimeter, and eventually I was even having to use this because there's no room when you're over here in the intake manifold's coming over. There's a little notch right here and a little notch right here that's supposed to be made for, if you loosen it up, you could access it. No, you can't, because you can't get to those bolts properly and take them off properly without messing anything up, breaking anything. So, like I said, when I was doing it, I accidentally took off the fuel line, and I couldn't figure out why it would not come up. It was all loose. I knew I had all of them loose. Oh yeah, and by the way, there's one very in back here. I didn't even see at the very beginning either. There's one bolt back there in the very middle. Anyways, so when I'm trying to take this off, and I knew I had them all loose, you know, because I took the bolt off. I was taking it off right here, but I had the wrong one. So that's why it makes it 10 times easier if you just go ahead and remove the intake manifold and do this job properly. I wish I had this video when I was doing it. It'd help a whole lot. So I hope this helps you guys. Good luck, and yeah, good luck.